Just woke up today and was thinking about fear quite a bit actually, because I don't know about you, but man, when I first realized that I struggled with fear, I was I was probably like 33 or something like that. That's the first time I can remember having this thought like, oh, whoa, I am really afraid right now. And it wasn't like because I mean, growing up as a kid, of course, like you go outside and it's dark or something like that. I remember running through the woods. We had a trail through the woods, and every once in a while, if it was dark, I remember being afraid like that. But I'm not talking about that kind of fear. I'm talking about more like the undergirding fear that causes you to not do things that you want to, or the anxiety that just kind of builds up in you, or it's almost a subconscious thing, right? And you don't even realize it's happening. And that was what was going on for me. And what it was I had wanted to go back to school, and I had wanted to like make a move, change what I was doing. But I had a business. I was a house painter. I had a house painting business, and the thought of making this big change was like, it meant moving. It meant, starting over. It meant unknown. That was really the big thing, was it just meant unknown, uncertainty. And I remember having this conscious thought that, oh my goodness, I have a real fear that's holding me back right now. And so my thought for you today is, how much does fear hold you back? What do you actually want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your creativity? What are the dreams that you have? Who do you want to be? And that doesn't mean that you have to like think, oh, I'm going to be, a superstar. It means whatever it means for you, right? It doesn't have to look like anybody else's dreams. But consider this. What has fear limited you to? Like, how has fear limited you? Because I swear, if we could get past fear, we could do a lot. I mean, I'm afraid. I'm starting a brand new YouTube channel, starting a brand new kind of like venture in helping other artists. And I feel passionate about it. I feel excited about it in one way, but I also feel nervous about it. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really even know how to do hardly any parts of it. But my commitment is, who cares? I'm not going to let fear stop me from this, because I know that you matter. I know that your creativity matters. I know that you have your own fears, and that if anything is going to happen that's going to be good and going to be encouraging for you, I have to start with my own fears. I have to overcome my own fears before I could ever help anybody else overcome their fears. So even making these videos, I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't really know. All I'm doing is I want to make things that are engaging. I want to make videos that are encouraging. I want to think through what have I struggled with? What have been the issues that I've had to deal with? And then maybe give some thoughts or feedback on ways that you might be able to overcome your own obstacles. So anyways, I'm really looking forward to today. Like I said, it's still morning, it's early. I'm in my studio now. I got work to do, but this is a good day to overcome some fears and not let them hold us back. Let's do it. But I guess what I was wanting to say there too is, if you don't know what your fears are, if you don't acknowledge them, it's very difficult to overcome them. And so sometimes that's what I think happened for me, was that when I was 33, I realized for the first time, oh, fear is a big deal, and it wants to hold me back. But recognizing that I had that fear helped me overcome it. And we did move. We did take this big risk. We did, I did go back to school. I pursued my dreams. And you know what? They didn't turn out the way that I thought they were going to turn out, but they turned out better. They turned out better. But if I would never have realized that I was afraid and then been able to overcome that fear through action, I never would have been in a place to even receive the better dream that I didn't even have at that moment because I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it because I was stuck where I was. And fear will keep you stuck where you are until you overcome it, until you put yourself in a new place. And that only will happen if you actually recognize and acknowledge that you have fear. So that's what I want you to do this, whatever time you're watching this, just take a minute and just go what are my fears? And what are they holding me back from? And just that recognition will help you. It will help you. It will help you because then you can overcome that fear. Okay, Peter, I need help because are we going to try to do this on a regular schedule? What is it going to be?
I would say you should try to record something every day, enough for a full video. But let's not bite off more than we can chew. We'll shoot for that. But if it's more like every other day, that's fine too.
Man, we're going for it. If you guys don't know who this is Peter Stout. He has been my right-hand friend for years doing Acrylic University. Yep. He knows more about so many things than, gosh, it's amazing. But we're building this YouTube channel together, and there's an unnamed helper also. Okay, you know what's funny is I just had the best conversation with Peter, and I was so bummed out when I realized I didn't record any of it because we were talking about all this stuff that relates to Brave Artist and helping artists with the things that we have kind of figured out. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but I'm like, oh, I didn't get out my camera. Why didn't I get out my phone and figure that out? But anyways, still a great time talking and figuring some stuff out. You know what else I think I'm going to need to get? I need to get another selfie stick. I can't find mine. And my shoulder is starting to get tired. I'm holding this phone up. It's funny how you never realize what you need until you start doing something. And then you go, oh, yeah, I should get a little easel for the tabletop or something because I don't want to hold this phone all day. And I feel like that's the same thing that happened to us when we started Acrylic University. I mean, the idea I knew from the beginning was an awesome idea. I honestly was, from the very, very, very beginning, the biggest believer in the idea because I'm like, this is amazing. This is going to be so good. It just took way longer and it was way harder road to get there. And so I don't know if you ever feel discouraged about where you're at with your dreams or, a goal or an ambition that you have. But I hope that you take some encouragement from just knowing that if you just keep moving forward little by little, you're going to get there. It just might be a little slower than you first imagined. I mean, honestly, I used to joke around with one of the first guys that helped us. His name was Dan. And Dan and I used to have the funniest conversations. I mean, looking back, it's hilarious to think what we were expecting. I don't know if it was a full-on, I really expected it to happen, or if it was just a joke, or if it was one of those jokes where you think it's a joke, but you really kind of are, there's some truth in what you're joking about. But we would always joke around how when we opened the doors of Acrylic University, we would just have 1 million people. It'd just be we just talk oh my goodness, talk about all the money we were going to make and all the people that were going to be there and all this stuff. And what reality was we opened the doors and we sold, we sold pretty good. The first week we sold $10,000 And then next week we sold $4,000. But guess what happened the third week? I don't know if we sold any dollars. I think it was like, okay, it's over. And I'm going, oh, wow. Because after the first week, Dan came back to me and Renee, my wife, and he's like, hey, Jed, I just hope that you are, like you've got your savings account set up, or I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was like, you're going to be rich, man. You're going to make so much money. Because you just go like $10,000 a week times 4, that's $40,000 a month, times 12, that's $480,000 a year. I mean, man, we're going to be rich. and the reality was, it was an influx of money the first week. The second week, it was a smaller influx of money. The third week, there was no influx of money. The fourth week, I start thinking, we did a launch and the launch is over and our sale is over now. And what are we going to do? We have to raise our prices to what we said our real price was. And I don't know if anybody's going to join in. Are we marketing well? And what's going on? Who's thinking about this? We were so busy doing all the other stuff that we didn't even know what we needed. And that's my whole point here, is that you don't know. I didn't know that I needed a gizmo for my phone to hold my phone up, right? Like I wasn't thinking about that until I started and I realized my arm is so sore. I'm tired of holding my arm out and my shoulder is getting sore. Until I started, I didn't even know. And until we started Acrylic University, I didn't even know that I was doing things backwards, that I needed to be marketing more from the very beginning. Before we started creating the course, I needed to be marketing. I needed to be asking questions of people instead of just assuming that I knew what people wanted. And so you learn as you go, but if you never leave the ground, like if you never take off, you're never gonna actually learn. So I don't know about you, but to me, that's kind of like what I needed to know at that time. That's what I needed to learn, was that I didn't know everything, but it's okay because you can learn, right? You can learn. You can kind of take it one step at a time and it's all going to be okay. You just need to get off the ground a little bit and see what happens when the wind starts to blow you around. And the thing I know, I need to get something to hold my arm up, because you can't see, but I'm propping my arm up with my other hand now. I'm like trying to alleviate some of the weight from my shoulder. Anyways, my shoulder is done for now, and I will talk to you in a bit. Okay, quick update on the table that I'm building. You can see that I cut out the back of this. I've got the monitor. I set up a little tripod here real easily, or quickly, and you can kind of see what it's gonna look like up here with this beam going across. I'm actually gonna move that microphone over to the other side because I want it to hang down a little lower. But got a camera up here now, and this is kind of like a massive, this is so funny, man. Next thing I need to do is this right here. This is from my old table, and it's got, lots and lots of cords that made sense, and the lengths, I had them coiled up so that the lengths were perfect for the setup as it was, but I'm gonna have to take that all apart now and redo it for this setup. But I have to say, I'm actually getting more and more excited about this setup as it's coming, because I think it's gonna be absolutely killer for what I need it to be. Man, I am pretty excited about this. So I wanna just walk you through and show you a little bit more about what I'm building here. I'm not done. It takes quite a bit of time and effort because I'm just trying to figure everything out as I'm going. I've built something kind of similar before, except this is like, it's all included. It's all in there, and you can see things like that. So I'm gonna turn the camera around so I can point things out a little bit easier. Okay, so right there, I cut a hole, and I have my computer in there. It's not plugged in or anything right now, but that's where it's gonna be. And then everything is going to kind of connect down into that. These are 2 drawers that I took out because I don't really need the drawers, I don't think, and it'll be easier to just loop wires in through those holes, I'm thinking. And I'll have a little bit more space to put things like power bars and I don't know, just all sorts of, you know, wires and things like that. Because I think there's going to be some excess wires that need to be hidden away. You can see the structure, of course, but this is what I'm pretty excited about here is that this has been a dream of mine for probably about, man, like 4 years, would be to have the TV mounted up above. And I actually found my mount. The TV already had it on the back, and thankfully I was able to find the wall part and get it going up there. But what's going to be so cool, I think, about this setup is that you can see this whole table is on wheels, and if everything is self-contained in here, meaning every wire, every cord, everything like that is all kind of held within this big, huge desk. The computer, the screen, I took down the screen and I took down my camera because I had to do a little bit of work over there. I actually cut off this board. There was a board up there that I cut off so that I could mount the TV. But if it's all contained and the only thing that's plugged in is right here underneath, that means I can roll this entire desk around and it will be able to work essentially anywhere in the room, anywhere in this building. And if I'm not using it to record, I can unplug it and I can just roll it off to the side. But what I love about this idea, and you probably get the picture, but somebody said it looks like a Food Network kind of thing. It doesn't look too pretty, right? I mean, I get that, but wouldn't it be cool if I could teach back there? I could be looking this way and people could see what I'm doing in great detail up high. I just think the potential for it is really, really cool. So anyway, that's a lot of what I've been working on today. And man, I was just saying to Renee, or she was saying to me, do you ever feel like you just don't get that much done in a day? And I said, yeah, all the time. It feels like, especially when you are trying to figure something out. Like, I've got 3 things that are pretty big projects right now that I'm trying to figure out. This big, huge desk is actually a good size. I mean, this is my second day that I've spent considerable hours working on it. And because I'm trying to figure it out and just like think through the whole thing to make it as good as I can, it's quite a process for me. There's no blueprint for that. I've never seen that before. So the other thing is we've got this cohort going through Brave Artist, which is we're going to be teaching, or I'm going to be just sharing like some of what I've learned through this process. I've got a bunch of friends that I realized listening to them talk, they're talking about, how do I create a video course? I don't even know what equipment to buy. I don't know what platform I should be on. I don't know all these different things. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I don't know everything, and you might choose different than me, but I can at least give you some guidance. I could at least help you out. So we've created this 10-week course that it's basically coaching. I'm just going to be coaching them and helping them and encouraging them along the way. So that's another huge project. And the last thing is doing these videos. I started a brand new YouTube channel and I'm just trying to document and record because honestly, it's part of the process for me is, I got 2 little rugrats out there. They're looking in the window. Look at this. 2 little rugrats and they're videoing me. That is so funny. But you know, it's just a whole process because what I'm trying to do is as I'm teaching, you know, these other artists or encouraging them, guiding them, helping them, what I want to be doing is the exact same thing. I want to be showing them, not just talking about it, but saying like, this is what you do. You actually start recording stuff. You need to start promoting stuff. You need to start asking questions before you even create your course. You need to get ideas from people because you don't know what they're gonna actually want. And so, anyways, all of it means I'm figuring a lot of stuff out, and man, a lot of these days I'm just going, I don't know what to do, but I'm remembering the words that I heard a few years ago, and it's done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. And those are pretty good words, especially if you're a perfectionist and you struggle to get things done because you want it to be perfect. So I'm trying to really listen to those words. But it's been a good first 2/3, 3/4 of the day. Time to go get some dinner, do something else. Today's been a great day. I'm thankful for work to do, projects. There's a lot going on, a lot to think about, but it's really good to have purpose and work, and I appreciate that. I just want you to also know that your dreams matter, you matter. You are a gift to the world. You have something beautiful to share with the world, and I hope that you feel encouraged to move forward. Take a risk. Every once in a while, you just gotta be courageous, step out, believe in yourself, and give it a shot. I believe in you. Hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day.
What do you think you're doing? Get going. Get out of here. Get out of here. What are you doing?